enhance our development as a state. A recommendation that I would leave to this House is that we are aware that there is a national development plan on youth, peace, and security. What we want as young people is for government to ensure that young people have a perfect representation in this particular council that they will create.
Thank you, Honorable Member, for that brilliant submission. May I now call on the Honorable Nominated Member for Banjul.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Lumay wax lu tuuti la te bariwul, but I will start with suñ ne youths ñun la te suñ ne youths ñun ñooy dëkk bi. So, Honorable Speaker, youth participating in peace building is very important because we the youths are the key stakeholders of peace in this country. So we have the right and responsibility to participate in anything that deals with the concerns of youths in the state. Honorable Speaker, but the question is, if we are given the chance to, are we ready to? That's the first question that clicks our minds. Are we ready to prevent that conflict between we the citizens and the youths? Honorable Speaker, the government also should take youth participation and views into account and ensure the protections of fundamental human rights. Honorable Speaker, in short and precisely, we, the young leaders of tomorrow, if we are ready to promote peace in this country, we must be committed. We must be committed to prevent the conflict and the corruption and the violences in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Sabah Sanja.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. First and foremost, I would say peace and security, these are two key words that are very essential as far as life is concerned. However, we all understand that the past NECO of 2022 that was held at Banjul, the theme was what is the role of young people in peace and in the maintenance of peace and security, in which I also took part. The first time in the history of NECOF, such an event like storytelling introduced or established. And as a young person, a very prominent in that matter, I took part in that event and I was crowned the champions of that storytelling. My team or my story was based on how, as young people, maintain peace and security to ensure Gambia, what we are known for, because we always said Gambia is the smiling coast of West Africa, not so. But I also manifested it on that day, telling the whole world that we are still with that. We are still the smiling coast of West Africa. However, a great man says, if you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner, by Martin Luther King. What this means is, we the young people sitting here, we the young people sitting here, si walum football bi ñu ñoo fa dee nekk wàllum lamba bi ñu ñoo fa dee nekk fépp foo muntu dem ndaw ñi nga fa dee fekk waaye léegi if I happen to have a problem with a partner and you as a parliamentarian or as a peace builder, so anyway, at least what we expect from you is to reconcile them. At least you reconcile us, you connect us so that we will be in peace. But then that can be only done, that can be only happen if we put our hearts together and our minds together. And I believe as a country and as young parliamentarians, we should be the foil to foil peace in the country and wherever we are. We could understand that this is, as I said it earlier, they are very essential. We cannot live without peace, definitely. Today, we are so comfortable in our house. Why? Because the security is good and then there is peace. Some part of West African countries, some of them, they are not in peace. And definitely, we are saying, may their peace be back in their various countries. I mean, this name for everybody, even our neighboring country, peace is not reigning there at all. But then, fortunately, we the Gambians, we are very proud, or I am very proud to say, ñun si jàmm la ñoo dund. Te man dama day wax ne, wallahi lu jàmm lépp si xaj. There is nothing that cannot fit in jàmm. Lépp a xaj si jàmm. So fi ma daanele moo nekk ne, tey dama leen a jox misaal. Soo gisee jàmm mu baax ak security. Tey soo amee leket bu ndaw, nga def fa fitna. If you put conflict in that small calabash, my friend, ñëpp ñoo see doyal. Aduna bi yëpp see doyal. Fitna kenn bugut ko. Ñëpp ko tey daaxa. Waaye tey soo jëlee basket nu mu rëy rëy nga def fa jàmm. There is nobody who said, I am satisfied with peace here. Jàmm kenn du ko doyal. My recommendation is going to be, ni ma ko waxee woon nekkof rek, ala ñu nekk puso, bañ a di ñaw, bañ a doon paaka, di rendi. Because we are expected to be in the front line when we talk about peace and security in the country. Because this can only move us as a country. And as a young parliamentarian, I will implore all of us, when we go back there, we preach peace, security. Not preaching also, but then we see some people whom we know that they have misunderstanding or whatsoever, we try and reconcile them. On that note, I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now call on the Honorable Nominated Member for KM.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor to give out my submission. First of all, I would like to ask this question, and please let us ask this question within ourselves. Do we believe that this country is peaceful? Well, we can answer that within ourselves again. However, Honorable Speaker, I would like to say that the Gambia we used to know that is peaceful, for me, is no longer peaceful again. And however, Honorable Speaker, as young people, it is a very, very important, we play a very, very important role in peace building and also sustaining it. But we have seen a lot of signs when it comes to the Gambia that are happening in this country that we are not even talking about. Some few months ago, something happened that was a threat to our security. It is so disappointing that we have forgotten about it so soon. It is true that we have lost the lives of 2 police officers. May their soul still rest in peace. And 1 police officer is still in the hospital. But it is still unfortunate that we have also forgotten about the issue, and even already in fact, not even 2 weeks, 1 week, when the case was set, it was told, everybody knew about it. We started complaining as young people. Just 1 week, 2 weeks, everybody stopped. I mean, we were all quiet about the same issue. What is happening? Cases has been raised, report has been raised that they have seen this individual. Again, they have not seen this individual. There are a lot of reports that has been stated.
Honorable Nominated Member, let's avoid delving on issues that are in court, please. Thank you.
Honorable Member, thank you. However, this is a case that is still going on, but it's also a concern to our country, and it is a threat to our security. Thank you very much, Honorable Member. And
Honorable
on this,
Member, let's avoid delving on issues that are in court, please.
thank you very much, Honorable Member. I will try to avoid it. To continue, on this case, I would still like to say Few days ago, in the region of KM, even though I was away, from false reports, in our own area, a man has been stabbed, and we still do not know who stabbed this individual. Honorable Speaker, it is very disheartening that we don't even know if this case is at court yet. However, I would like to say that there are a lot of issues that are happening on the ground, and these are signs that are going on. We talk about unemployment, we talk about cases that are happening to us. Young people are angry, and we still stand here and say that the country is peaceful. We are saying that we don't have jobs. We are saying that young people are going to irregular migration. We are talking about a lot of issues that are affecting young people. And we still stand here and say, young people, we still stand here and say this country is peaceful. These are early warning signs that are happening in this country. And when it goes out of hand, there is conflict that is going to happen. As a young person that is studying peace and conflict, I am going to say that this country is not peaceful, except if we stop these early warning signs that are happening, and we as young people come out to speak on these early warning signs, to make sure the government takes charge on these early warning signs. That way, we can say the country is peaceful. But the smiling coast of this Gambia is no longer a smiling coast, because young people, some of us are still crying. Maybe some of us do not know what some people are going through in this country. But in the case of Sukuta, anyways, I don't need to speak on cases that are still on court. But Honorable Member, I would like
Honorable Speaker. Point of order.
Point of order or point of order?
I am standing on order 17.
Order?
17.
Okay. Please read the order.
I believe the honorable nominated member for Latrikunda Sabiji, KM, female rep, is misleading, is going out of the topic. The motion at hand is be it resolved that government to involve youth in reconciliation and peace building processes and maintenance of security of the state, but not the state of the peace, the state of peace of the state.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. You have made your point. You may please resume your seat. Honorable nominated member, you might please continue your submission.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Going ahead with my...
Honorable nominated member, please address the speaker properly.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Sorry for that. Going ahead with my statement, I would like to continue to still say that, however, bringing in the government to take part, and also young people to take part in peace building, we will still say we are the same young people.
Thank you very much for your submission. May I now call on Honorable Member for Brikama South. And honorable members, before you come in, sorry, honorable member, because we're given 5 minutes doesn't mean we need to exhaust the 5 minutes. When we make our points, we can please resume our seats to allow other members make their point, as we are running out of time. Thank you. Honorable member for Brikama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor to make my presentation on this. I will first of all start by saying peace building and the maintenance of peace is everyone's interest, because the absence of peace affects everyone, not only the youth. That is why the Quran advises us on this. It says, وَاتَّقُوا فِتْنَةً لَن تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنكُمْ خَاصَّةً. Be mindful of fitna, because it didn't affect only the people who perpetuates it. You know, it has what is called collateral damages. It might not only affect those who instigated the problem. That's why everyone has the interest in ensuring there is peace. Whatever you see that could trigger a problem, it's a responsibility for you to ensure that you try to ensure that it doesn't, you address it anyway. Because when the worst happen, it is not likely going to be like, okay, you're not part of it, you will not be affected. You will certainly be affected in one way or the other. If you look at the youth in general, they're the biggest victim of the absence of peace or war. I read this report by UNFPA 2015 states that more than 90% of casualties in wars are the male youth, or at the male youth group. So that clearly tells us that if there's a war or if there's a problem, mostly it is the youth that will be there to fight against each other. It is the youth that will be dying. Even if you look at of recent, just to give an example, the war that is happening between Palestine and Israel, you hear the reports, it's like, it's the children, the women, and the elderly. You don't even hear people talking about youth, because somehow it kind of feels like it's okay if youth dies in conflicts, all right, because they're the ones who will normally take part in this thing. And when there are magnitude of certain crimes or certain wars, it is the youth that are affected the most. Youth's futures are mostly very uncertain. But when there are problems, when there are other events that happen, it makes their future even much more, it jeopardizes their future even much more. So that is why it is into our interest as youth to ensure that we maintain peace. But that we can do if we work with the government, and that we can also do if we are given the platform to work with them. Honorable members, I will from there state that there are causes to some of these things. And one of them, as we speak the other time, in the past motion, it has to do with job opportunities, for example, and engagement. When people are engaged in something productive, there are high chances they wouldn't have chance to engage on something that would trigger violence, because they'll be much more focused on that thing that they did, which is productive. And the other thing that I wanted to raise rapidly before my time elapsed is our parents' role in ensuring that we are nurturing our kids in a way that will ensure that they'll maintain peace. Honestly, the other time, there was this guy who was killed at the beach. I think he was working at the audit office. One of the people that we are alleged to have been part of it is somebody who was at the age of 15 and 16. Imagine somebody as young as that age, who's supposed to be in school, who's supposed to ensure that parents that are taking care of, that child, who's supposed to ensure that you're ensuring that those kids are doing what they're supposed to do, are the very ones that are engaging in this thing. And that is obviously scary. And it makes me, in that point, I will agree with the nominated member that it is getting scary, the Gambia that we used to know, for the smile of its people, for the jam in its beaches, and every other piece that we used to know in this country is seemingly elapsing. And it is the young people at the end of the day who are part of all of these things. So that is why, in my conclusion, I will just say, we urge the government, we understand that they are building, a National Peace Commission. Let them have a good representative of the youth in that commission, just to ensure that we are part and parcel of the process. And if you look at in our local communities and settings, most of the time when issues happen, it is the elderly people that are called to come and discuss on those matters. And some of these things affect the youth as well. So we are urging those people as well to ensure that the youths are also part and parcel of that process, of those processes that are meant to not only ensure their peace, but for its maintenance as well. So I will just end my presentation here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Brikama North.
I've said I changed my mind. I'm not speaking on this anymore.
Okay.
Thank you.
May I now call on Honorable Member for Lower Nyomi?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, but I don't raise my attack to discuss on this issue.
Sorry about that. May I now call on Honorable Member for Banjul South?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, we cannot have peace if our security forces are not empowered. Honorable Speaker, in order for us to gain security, in order for us to gain the security we are yearning for, the government should empower the security officials. Imagine sometimes you will see a police officer. Police officer mu ngi dox ci mbéda bi ni. Even pour mu am lo xamné daf ko mëna protéger bopam sax du ko yoré. Honorable Speaker, young people in this country, if we want to maintain peace and security, we have to come together ñu boole suñ xol suñ xalaat ñun ñëpp ñu xam ne Gambia moo ñu ñor suñ buggee Gambia dem si kanam ñun ñoo ko war a def because suñ parents yi ak suñ oncle yi ñooñu def nañ lu ñu war a def ba pare so ñun ñoo war a make sure ne ñu maintain peace and security. Honorable Speaker, it's really sad that young people of this country are using these substances like GAO. And you know, if you use these substances, you might lose your mind and then you go and commit a crime and then you say you want to maintain peace. Honorable Speaker, we as young people should make sure that we maintain peace and security because we say one Gambia, one people, one nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Combo East.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. My submission will actually be very short. I believe the motion at hand requires not much debate. Reconciliation, peace building, and maintenance of security, the involvement of youth, it's not a subject of debate. It's something that has to happen if there is interest for these three to be attained. The reason I said this, let's start with reconciliation. The youths should be involved because the youths are forward thinking, and that's what reconciliation is about. On the peace building, where there are crises, the youths are the most affected. We have seen recently, with all the, security concerns that we have, most of the time it involves the youths. And lastly, on the security of the state, those that are specifically responsible for the security of the state, the youth form the majority of that sector, that is the security sector. So tell me, how would you attain any of this if you left the majority of the population of the country out of it? I think the argument should not be involving the youths, it should be putting them at the forefront in these efforts. So I will rest my case on that.
Point of observation, Honorable.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Honorable, allow me to use your remaining time to make this submission. Of course, the institutions have to be in place to ensure that whenever we are in conflict, where we can build confidence to settle peace. More especially if you look at some of those public institutions, you realize that persons living with disabilities are left behind. If you go to police stations, sometimes somebody who is hard of hearing or so, how do the person put him or herself the kind of conflict that he is going through? So some of these things we have to amplify our approach in terms of putting spaces where we can accommodate for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that submission, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Serekunda West.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I do not have much to say because the other Honorable have mentioned much about the things that I'm about to say, but I will lay emphasis like when we say peace and security, youths are involved. So therefore, youth should be given like the sense of belonging. Let them understand what peace is all about. Let them understand what they are in their consequences. So with this, if youths are given the sense of belonging, like the education that they need on peace building, you will see to it that we are the only people that can end conflict. We are the people that can also start it. So if we are empowered and give the knowledge that we need to set as an example, we will be able to make our nation to another level, because we all know that conflict is something that delays youth activity, that delays anything that has to do with national development. So I believe as a youth, as honorable members, now we should go to our consequences and communicate with our youths. Let us involve them in decision making. If you involve someone in decision making, that person will have the courage to say things that is affecting them. But if we are not involving them in decision making, this will create anxiety, and they will not be happy. And if youths are not happy, this can cause conflict. So this is what I want to submit.
Point of observation.
Who is raising a point of observation?
It's me.
Yes, Honorable Member for Bakau.
Thank you very much for giving me the floor. I think the matter at hand here is that for the government to involve youth in reconciliation and peace building process and the maintenance of the state. So I am telling the government, the National Assembly, the National Youth Parliament members are welcoming you to invite us, the young people. We are telling you that we are ready to work with you to make sure that we are able to maintain peace and security in the country. Now let's look at it. The young people.
Honorable Member, are you making a submission or are you making a point of observation?
I am trying to make a submission to her submission.
Honorable Member, I will allow you to continue, but this is not a precedent. If you want to speak, please raise your tag next time.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me that permission. Okay, I want to say that we, the young people, are not involved in any peace building process. When you look at it, we have Peace Hub the Gambia, we have Peace Ambassadors the Gambia. But then when you look at these several peace associations or organizations we have in the Gambia here, it is very rare. I would say I don't know, or it is very hard for us to see that the government has invited these associations or have used these associations or organizations to partner with them and try to have that peace building process or negotiation when there is any conflict in the country. It is rather the international bodies that will come to these peace organizations, like peace ambassadors, whenever we see that these organizations have activities. It is fully funded by international bodies. But it is very rare for us to see the government invite these peace or young organizations that are involved in peacemaking, and this is peacemaking and the maintenance of security. So now, as young parliamentarians, we are inviting the government to invite us that we are capable of maintaining peace, and then we are also capable of maintaining security in our country. So we are calling on you to make us partners. That is, when you are going to make, when you are going to do the reconciliation, or whenever there is conflict, we are not there to only make the problem. As most of the government will believe that we are the ones that create the problem. Sometimes it might be, but then it is not all. And then we as the young people are the ones that are calling you now to see us as partners that are going to reconcile and make sure that there is peace and security in our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. May I now call on Honorable Member for Talinding Kunja.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm not going to say much because some of my points have been elaborated by the Honorable Member for Bakau. And the only thing that I will speak on is, in order for us to have a maintenance of security and peace in our country, there should be increasement of salary to the security personnel. These are the people protecting us day and night. They are risking their life to protect us, leaving their families at home to come and protect another family. So if their salary is not increased, how will they be active to come and protect others? At least if the salary is increased, it will give them, it will motivate them. We have to go and protect others because, there's something behind us. At the end of the month, what they receive is going to sustain their family and them. But there cannot be a security maintenance if the salary is not increased. Secondly, discrimination. Looking the arena in Talinding, during my consultation, I have realized that there are so many mental ill people around the roadside, and people tend to discriminate them, isolate them in our society, which should not be done. They are human beings. I am encouraging the families that they are coming from to take them, clean them up. If they are able to, provide medication for them so that they will be come back to their normal senses, it will be very good. But if the families are not ready to do that, I'm encouraging the government to come and pick those people up and take them to Tanka Tanka, because they are human beings and they belong to the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Honorable Speaker, sorry, I want to ask whether my name is written.
Yes, it is.
Because this time I'm not.
It is this time. Don't worry, you'll be called.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm here to make my submission on the involvement of youth in reconciliation and peace building process and maintenance of security in the state. Youths are in the center when it comes to these two, peace and security, because if you look at security, is actually talking about the absence of threat. And if you look at peace, is looking at, the absence of violence. So these are almost things that are the same. You understand? But if you look at the youths also, they are part of the people or part of the society that are responsible for instigation of insecurity in certain places of the world. We understand. Now, look, narrowing it to the Gambian contextual, you will come to understand that, let me use it this way, I begin to suspect that every youth in the Gambia is a criminal. Yes, because if you look at security, it's not only looking about the person who does it. Because if you look at crime generally, it's not only telling you about the person who actually did the crime. It's also telling you about the person who was there when this crime was being committed. What is your responsibility?
Honorable Member, I understand your justification, but I want you to revisit the magnitude of your statement.
Which statement? Can I understand?
The statement you saying you suspect all Gambian youths are criminals.
Yeah, I'm making corrections. I'll come to that. There's a reason why I'm trying to bring the platform. But definitely, I will definitely make a correction to that. Now, the reason why I said this is not that I want to
Point
say...
of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Honorable Speaker, please let the Honorable Member withdraw the statement. Let him withdraw and continue, please. We are not criminals.
Honorable Member for Serekunda, can I know under what point of order should I withdraw this?
Yeah, point of order 17. Honorable, you said you're beginning to suspect that all youths are criminals. I'm telling you, I myself, I know I'm not a criminal. I'm not being caught by law. Please, let the Honorable Member withdraw the statement. Withdraw it and continue, please. I don't want to distract you, just withdraw it.
Honorable Member for Serekunda, kindly resume your seat. Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Honorable Speaker, I think he need to quote the point of order where he is trying to rise. Let the House understand what he is about to say.
Honorable Member, please do not interrupt when I'm speaking. Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala, please withdraw that statement as it is not based on evidence and you're calling all Gambian youths criminal. It's a very huge accusation.
I'm not calling them criminal. What I'm trying to make is I want to bring a concept so that we try to understand my point where I'm going to.
I understand you're trying to develop something.
Anyway, I withdrew. Let me proceed. What I'm trying to explain here is, if you look at the crime, you're not only looking at the person who does the crime. You're looking at the person who was even there when this crime was committed. And what roles did you play? It's very important. Now, how many crimes have been committed? And it is not reported. How many of us are here who will say that we have never experienced an instance where a crime is committed? How many of us? So this is why I said we need to know our responsibilities as youth. You understand? There are societies in the Gambia, as I am speaking, they don't wait for the police to come and arrest their culprits. They have their society police officers who will work hand in glove with the police of their society. What do? You conduct certain things, they get you and take you to the police station, and then the law will take its course. That is it. Now, if somebody come to your house and pick your mobile phone, do you allow the person to go? What do? I think you pursue the person and get hold of him because he took something that belongs to you. Why didn't you wait for the police to come and get him? So these are things that I want to put before the people so that the youth will understand their responsibility. We cannot talk about peace and we fail in our responsibility because this peace building process, we ourselves, we are players. The domestic violence, the gender-based violence, some of this domestic violence, we don't report them to the police. And these are the issues that will rise from one place to another, go small. Before we realize it is at the highest level. And there, we find it very difficult to solve them. So I urge all the youths, each consequence where you are coming from, go and sensitize the youth about their responsibilities. Because when we talk about peace, the youth cannot be left. We have to make sure that our society is secure. Anyone that you see in your society holding certain things that does not go with the law, report the issue to the police for easy, for easy technicalities. Whatever advice they give, that is it. Fine. Now, if you look at security, if a state is not secure, there is no development that can easily take place in that particular place. So therefore, in order for us to, in as much as we are talking about development, we need to make sure that we play our role in that development process. And therefore, peace cannot be left behind. In the Gambia, before you are disrespected as a civil servant, tell the people that you are a police officer, or you are a prison officer, or you are working with the fire and rescue service. That's the time they even insult you on your face. That does not tell well. We are trying to kill the morals. Because in other part of the world, the security, whenever you saw anyone in your car that you are a security officer, because the person will respect you, because he knows that this guy is somebody who is well taken care of by the state. But in our Gambian context, if you don't have any work to do, if you roam the whole country, you don't know what to do, that's the time you decide, let me go and hide within the security sector. We should be changed. The security is a noble job. It is a profession. You understand? It is a complete profession. You understand? People should be happy to choose to be police officers. People should be happy to become military officers. People should be happy to be fire and rescue officers. But if people are not happy about what they are doing, they don't do it to the best. The issue of insecurity is as a result of people are doing things that they don't like. So therefore, you only hold it based on the chances that are available. So I'm calling on the state and all of us to be advocates for the government. All the time we'll be talking about the government because they are the ones that are supposed to put things in order so that the security sector will be lucrative, so that people will graduate from the university and other institutions and decide to go there and make best use of the knowledge that they have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Bundunka Kunda.
Good evening, Honorable Speaker. I would like to talk on the involvement in youths in reconciliation, peace building process, and maintenance of security of the state. Like, let's be honest to each other. Us, we are not peaceful. Like, I mean the parliamentarians that are sitting here. Peace is not merely the absence of war. Peace, if we are to define peace, we can say peace have to deal with physical, social, and even economic environment. We cannot be peaceful if our police officers are arresting our young brothers and sisters, beating them, slapping them, which is not right. We cannot say we are peaceful when the government is making laws without involving the young people. So, Honorable Speaker, I think these police officers need to be oriented, I mean well-oriented, so that our Gambia can be peaceful. You cannot come and arrest me, it doesn't make any sense. You expect the country to be peaceful when I am standing and someone else is slapping my younger brother or sister because of something else. It's not making any sense. So the police officers need to be oriented well. Any government institution that is watching us, please, when you are training these police officers, orient them about human rights so that they can at least respect our dignity, like the dignity of somebody's right. You cannot be beating us all over and say our state is peaceful. Gambia is not peaceful. Our smiling coast is no more smiling. We are frowning. And everybody in this hall is frowning. We are no more smiling. And also talking about the security thing. In our Gambia, I personally am not mad to walk with my mobile phone in this back way. I will not try it, even in the afternoon. They will come and take it. You will not be able to do anything. The only time our security officers come out is when there is crime. For example, that is the time they will come surround whole Bunung and want to check everything. Let them try and do prevention. You cannot only come out when there is problem. Come and check if there is no problem so that you can prevent. You cannot come anytime when there is problem. Then police officers are here. Their concern are always, they are only on standby when there is problem. So when there is no problem, and we cannot call this Gambia peaceful. And other thing that I want to say, my recommendation, government of the Gambia and any other stakeholders that are responsible of these peace building issues and security, please involve the young people. Please involve the young people when you are making these policies so that we can see ourselves in, and also we can give you accurate and significant recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker, sorry, I want the Honorable to clarify if she means the Parliament, the people here are not at peace, or she means we are not peaceful, because I don't understand. Thank you.
Honorable Member. Honorable Member for Bundungakunda, can you please clarify your statement to the August Guard?
Okay. I said we are not at peace, not the parliamentarians are not peaceful.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai?
Good afternoon once again, and thank you for giving me the floor, Madam Chair.
Honorable Member, please address the Speaker properly.
All right, Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me the floor to speak on this motion, which is about the government to involve youths in reconciliation and peace building processes and maintenance of security of the state. I think security is something that is everyone's business. Young people must be involved in the security of our own first before we think of others. One, we will have to be people who have to involve ourselves in our communities. If we look in our communities, most of these problems that are happening, they are created by young people. So it's the same, we the young people who can stand and fight against those problems, those issues. If you look at the theft cases, the robberies, the drug trafficking, All those things are done by young people of this nation. So if young people are ready to fight against these insecure behaviors, I believe things of this nature, insecurity of the nation will be minimized. In the issue of reconciliation, how can we come together? Young people must be involved, must be in the forefront in order to maintain peace. Going down in the creation of supporting youth engagements or youth-led initiatives, this will help to bring young people's mind together. If the government should have the support, will be supporting young people in the activity that they created, like if sporting errands, because we know if you look at sport, it's among the key things that can bring young people together. I will take an example of the insecure things that happen or the political impasse that happened in my area, Fonyi Bintang Karanai, during the past political impasses. Okay? So during those periods, when people were in different political dialects, some were supporting different parties. So it goes to an extent that those people who are not supporting the same party go parallel. It broke fights. It created a huge gap between families, even family members who are staying together. In some cases, even family members or even the relatives who are very close to each other, if they are not supporting each other's party, they will not even go to each other's social events. And even funeral, it happens there. So with the help of sport, young people came together through this Nawetan that we usually organize as a district Nawetan. Every village is represented. In that particular, in those events, there is no difference whether you are in this particular party or you are in this other party. Every young people came together. And then it started to build what? Happiness and joy in them. So you see, if your area, your Kabilo is coming, all the members, all the young people of that Kabilo will have to gather at one place in the morning, have that session together, discussion. There are issues that you talk that bring happiness among yourself. But if young people don't come together, it always creates a big gap in the issue of security of our nation. Also, I believe the government should also help to build, provide economic opportunities for young people. Young people, many people who are involved in these insecure behaviors is due to lack of sufficient opportunities, like economic opportunities. So this is something that we know that is increasing a lot of things in the young people. So I would like to stop here because most of the things were lamented by others. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Fonyi Brefet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. First, I would like to start with this. When we want to be recognized in order to be part of reconciliation processes in building peace for the Gambia, we the youths need to be more responsible. Let me qualify the statement. We are responsible, but we all need to be more responsible. Looking at the current trend in which we are abusing drugs, you see a lot of youths are engaging in this use of illicit drugs. And when you constantly keep on doing that one, your rationale might sometimes not be in line with positive things. So that being the case, you might not be recognized in reconciliation, in bringing peace. So that being the case, let's continue engaging our young people that are into illicit drugs so that they can become more responsible. And then also, in recognizing us for reconciliation and peace building processes, I also want to suggest if in the National Security Council, if we are not having youths there, I wish to recommend this to the National Security Council to start bringing youths on board so that they will also be part of the decision-making process to also discuss on issues that are also affecting youths. And then also, the security forces also, they are not enemies to us, and also we are not also enemies to them. If we want to have a common understanding, a common ground, I also want to suggest we create platform whereby regularly youths and also the security forces will be sitting together, dialogue, and then bring on and then discuss on issues with that will always be at the same level. Because sometimes you see, Tori, that when there are demonstrations happening, and demonstrations are our rights, we should demonstrate. But also a manner in which we should also demonstrate is also very much important. So when youths are also on demonstration, sometimes you see how when security forces are also there, sometimes their behavior make everything to become negative. Before even you use tear gas or use other means to stop the crowd, you should engage them. But we have been seeing cases whereby the security officers, instead of them engaging the youth, they will not engage the youth, but they will just jump out from their vehicle and then start throwing tear gas. And I don't just want to go far, but there are cases that these things happen. So before you do some, even in their regulation, before you do that, you need to engage the crowd. Even let's say, no matter what petition they have against the government or whosoever, you should engage them. Then from there, when they are not when they are not listening to whatever you might be saying, then you can also result into the last action, that is bringing mechanism that you can be able to control them. So in as much as we don't do that one, it will be very much difficult for youth and then the security forces to be understanding each other. Now, saying that, the youths also, we should no more be used as tools to get political positions. We have seen the Green Boys during the Dan regime. And these people were used to make sure they have roots so that the then government can still, because whatever the then government says, they always try by only to dance on the tune of the then government. And also this current government too. We have also seen Barrow Youth Movement being turned to become a political party. So now we the youths also, we should not always be used as tool to get political position, but also we should also be taking part in those actions so that we can also be part of those decision-making processes. So when those ones are not also done, it will be very much difficult for youth to also see themselves in the reconciliation of peace. So now, the government also, we have seen testimonies whereby youth will have grievances, and then the government might not be willing to listen to them. So whenever we want reconciliation, whenever we want continued peace in the Gambia, whenever youths have grievances, it is important for the government to listen to them. Now, when you also check on the July 22nd coup, you also understand that before the coup, they had grievances that they were raising, but at some point those grievances were not being recognized or were not listened to. When you also check on the student demonstration, before they also go out, that is April 10 and 11 student demonstration, if I'm right on the date. So that one too, before they also go out, they try by all means to be able to engage the government. And also when you also listen to the then vice president, that is as Sonia said this testimony, you also understand that they communicated to the government. I don't know whether before the communication reached to the then vice president, whether that one was what was said, because according to her testimony, the moment she get the information, she convened a meeting. But before that meeting, they had that the students.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Jokado.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Yeah, when we say youths, we play a very important role when it comes to peace. Because when you look at all the conflicts that are happening in the country, it is mostly done by the youths. Just recently, we heard of a gang which is formed around this place, which was announced by one of these social media platforms. And these people were going daylight on people in people's compounds, throwing stones on them without any reason. So therefore, the security personnel, they should be strengthened. They should be given enough mechanism in order to operate well. Because even though these people have gone to those places to settle these matters, they could be wounded. And at the end of the day, nothing will happen. Some of them may lose their lives. Some of them can sustain injuries. And at the end of the day, it's only their families that will be suffering. Because the government will not do anything. We have people who were on duties. We have seen people who were on duties and sustained injuries. What have the government done on that? Some of them have to pay for those, the medical treatment for themselves. We have seen people who have been attacked at their working places.
So therefore, the government need to give good mechanism to these people so that to the security personnel so that they will able to execute their duties properly. When it comes to the societal level also, we play a very important role when it comes to peace and security. The way we mold our children, it contributes a lot. Because charity begins at home. No matter how the way you behave at home, that's how you are going to behave outside. The way you behave at home, that's how you are going to behave outside. We have seen people who will be on the street disrespecting people, stealing people properties. And at the end of the day, when they are reported, their parents are the one who will be paying these police officers to release them, instead of allowing the law to do its enforcement. So therefore, we have also a very important role to play in this. Let me come to the border also. The border also needs to be secured because we have so many foreigners who are coming in, causing crimes. It needs to be secured. During my consultation meeting, I met some people who talked about this. Because if you look at our constituency, it is around the border. And most of these crimes, where they are committed, these people will rush back to our neighboring countries. So therefore, these places need more security personnel. And those security personnel should not just be there, they should be well equipped. These people should be well equipped. When we say security personnel, we don't just need security personnel without equipment. Because when they are going towards these people, they are risking their lives. And some will say it doesn't worth it. At the end of the day, you are not paid enough salary, even to feed your family. And when you have sustained injury, you will be the one to pay for your medical treatment. Does it worth it? Some will not even take it serious. Some will prefer sign away from it, their duties. When they have seen something serious coming towards them, they will shy away from their duties in order to protect their lives. And I will not blame them for that. Because when they have something that happened to them, is going to be their own, they will dance to their own tune. So therefore, they need to be equipped, and they need to be made to have the passion for the job they are doing. Some of them are not having the passion, honestly. They are just doing it that for the sake of doing it, for them to have at least something to gain at the end of the month. So therefore, the security sector should not be a dumping site. And in the Gambia, that's what is happening. It is a dumping site. Yes? Because we have some of them, they will just tell you if you have just grade 9 result. Should that happen? It shouldn't happen. We need people who also have the knowledge to be under the security personnel.
Thank you, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Nyamina East.
Point of observation, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
I wish to observe this. We have display of the time so that honorable members will be able to time themselves as they deliberate. Thank you.
Technicians, please help us with that. Thank you. You might proceed, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. As the saying goes on, a country cannot be developed without the youths. A country cannot develop without peace. And the peace and development lies in the hands of the youths. What I used to say is this. I ask myself, are we ready or are we serious in terms of achieving what we want to achieve? Because the government did not show or did not see that respect in us. This is why we are not included in decision making and maintenance of peace in this country. Why I say so? Look at how many CSOs, how many youth-led organizations that we have in this country. We are very good in advocacy, but we are very weak in solidarity. The way we advocate, if we come together as one and make solidarity, anything that we want to achieve in this country, we will achieve it. But we are not relenting in the advocacy that we did. We must take this action so that the government will respect us. Any time that they need us, or I don't know whether parties or partisans are dividing the youths or not, but any time that the government needs the youths, that's the time when they need our votes. That's the time they recognize the youths are available in this country. And that should not be the case. We should respect ourselves so that these people will respect it. Anybody who comes to power, you are brought to the power by youths. You are brought to power by youths because we constitute half of the population of this country. So why are we not respected, or why are we not involved in reconciliation or peace building in this country? We should have proper representative in those institutions when we are cordially organized and we come together to fight for one thing. But are we ready to fight for those representatives, those youth group to represent us in those decision-making processes? We are not doing that. We must form solidarity. We must come together as one and fight for what we want to achieve in this country. If not, we are seen nowhere. We will keep on saying this thing, we'll keep on repeating this thing. At the end of the day, nothing will come out of it. We must come together as one and work together in order to achieve our desired goal. If we want the government to recognize the youths in the reconciliation and peace-building processes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. May I now call on Honorable Member for Lower Badibu?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Okay, I will start with saying peace is a very important pillar for national development. And in national development, youth cannot be left out. So okay, Honorable Speaker, I'm happy that I belong to our organization, which is a pioneer in advocacy for peace, and so many other youth-led organizations that involved in peace advocacy. However, there are some issues that are affecting our peace, that are somehow tampering our peace. And I would like to quote some of them, if you permit me, Madam. Some of them are insinuating violence in social media. This is a big problem in the Gambia. Sometimes we feel like that because we are in a democratic state, that we can just punch our button and then send an audio, which could insinuate violence, insulting, and it could cause a big thing to the society. So insinuation violence is some of the things that affect our peace in this country. Another one also is the unlawful arrest of citizens for expressing their rights. If the citizens are arrested just to expressing their rights and then detained for more than the given duration, this will bring uprising. And then people will uprising, and if uprising occurs, the peace is at threat. So government or authorities should limit the unlawful arrest of citizens in expressing their opinions. Taking the law in hands. This is our problems as you too. Sometimes we believe that we have to take the law in our hands because someone have done something wrong to me, I will also pay back. Before you do any action to the person, take him to the law so that the law will act in accordance. The other one is the political space. This country we are living in here, the political space is not much friendly, because what happened is that political leaders threaten citizens. They threaten citizens, they stand in occasions where they speak and threaten citizens for whatever they have done, whether it is in line with peace or not, they will still stand there openly to threaten the citizens. So the political space is also something that is tampering with our peace. The usage of drugs among young people. This is a big problem in the Gambia. Many youths are using drugs. And then, these drugs, what happens to the youth? If you use them, you are not in control of yourself. You act otherwise. And then you behave anyhow because you don't respect people. It affects your mentality. The brains that give you the sense of respect will not act in that way. You will not see elders, you will not see young or anyone. You will act in a manner that is very unlawful. So what the government should do in respect of this, to involve the youths in all aspects of community policing. Not even involving the youths only. We are citizens of this country. Whether the government involve us or they don't involve us, we should take charge and know that this country belongs to us. Government comes and goes, but we the citizens, we remain. So if we saw someone trying to involve in something that will bring violence, we should correct the person. Because the person he is doing to might not be you today, but tomorrow it might be you. So if you correct that person and then you report the matter to the police, that case will not happen again. So what I am trying to put onto us as parliamentarians and other youths that are watching is that we as a youth, we must be ready. Because I don't think the government will be ready for us. If we are not ready for ourselves, we have to be ready and put ourselves together. Whether the government involve us or they don't involve us, we involve ourselves. Because we have the belief that there is a time will come that the youths will be in charge. And if the youths are in charge, that is the time that we will run this country in a way that we want it to be. But if we also relax and fold our hand that, we say that we will, because the government is not involved in us, so we will not do anything. There will come a time that the country will block to the pieces that it will be hard for us to repair. So let us not allow it to break to that pieces. Let us try to maintain it, at least until if the right government or, until the right time comes, then there it will be easy for us to continue and roll the system. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. May I now call on the last Honorable Member to speak on this motion, Honorable Member for Serakunda.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the honor to speak as the last speaker too as well. I'm not going to dwell on the matters that have been dwelled by the honorable members of this House, but most importantly, I would make reference on documents that are really for the youth, and also to get back to the motion in hand, that is the government should involve the youths in in reconciliation and peace building and the maintenance of security in our country. And that is very clear. I do not know if the government did not do this, what should they do? That is the question, because when you look at the statistics of the country, you get to understand 63% upwards are youths of this country. So if we are not involved in the maintenance of peace and also in reconciliation, then what should we be doing as youths of this country? The National Youth Policy itself, 2019 to 2028, really has elaborated the involvement of youths in making sure that we are able to have a peaceful environment and also one that is conflict-free. But if we have that and the government still is not involving the youths in the process of reconciliation, maybe perhaps I would like to put it, we have youths that are into the action. Right now, as I said, this year round is more of actions. We have youths that are in the actions of maintaining peace and also in the process of peace building in our country. Now, you would have organizations that were here for quite a long time, the likes of Peace Ambassador, we have mentioned it. They are comprised of youths that are capable. We also have the Imagine youth organization, the Peace Hub, and they are doing great. We have seen that by their coordinator that have a magnetic mind, able to magnetize all the resolutions in this world. We also have a peace institution too as well, called the Peace Network, and we saw what they did
in the past November 11 when we were expecting a demonstration, and they came with the Islamic Council, and they were able to maintain peace. And the one that is leading it, with his Alassana Justice Jallo, is a young person. If that person was able to involve in that process, in maintaining the peace in this country, my friend, which excuse does the government have that youth should not be involved in the reconciliation and peace building and the maintenance of security in our country? Now, today, when you go to my community in Serekunda, we have a community police. Community police, our youths are involved in this process. They are trying. Serekunda, so they basic galas, kuham. So for them, such a daylight, blue word. Whether young a hole, wala hole, then last. But our youths that are in the community form a community police and make sure that they are able to maintain the security. And they really did great in that. But our government is not supporting. And my youths in my community are discouraging. You know, and we also have, you know, instruments that really have given, you know, an insight of the government to involve the youths in the reconciliation and peace building and the maintenance of security in our country. Look at Resolution 2250 by the UN. Look at the Resolution 1325, which also involves women that are also youths in the maintenance of peace in our country. So these resolutions must be looked into. And also, most importantly, we have a youth framework that is coming on the peace and security. I am telling the government, this is not a negotiation. It's our right as youths to be involved. And if we are not involved in this process, we are going to make sure that this is going to happen, that we are going to involve in the maintenance of peace and security in our country, because the country belongs to us. We are not here to joke. And sometimes when we speak, it's like we are begging the government. We are not begging. This is our right. And it's our duty that we are telling the government that we are coming on board to make sure that we are able to contribute to our peace and security. We cannot have our security officials being killed by youths, you know, or being killed, sorry, let me retract that, being killed. And also youths are here to also be an instrument that can be used to maintain the peace and security across the constituencies. Look at these youths that are here. Many of us are involved into advocacy in peace. And some have gone to an extent of building associations and organizations to make sure that they are able to be in the forefront of maintaining the peace and security in this country. If the government does not involve us in the maintenance of peace and security, and also in the negotiation, reconciliation, gis nga xam-xam pour ça la mag daf koo for xale daf koo for te xale yan leen am si dëkk bi fii they are more than mag. We know what to do, we know how to maintain.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. There was an oversight on my side. I have Honorable Member for Central Badibu on the list that was submitted. Honorable Member for Central Badibu.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I wanted to speak, but I was oversight, but it's not a problem. I would also like to continue with the submission. The motion at hand, that is maintenance of reconciliation and peace building. When we say reconciliation, means what something that has already happened, we reconcile. And it is the youths that can do that. Because if it is the youths, if anything that happens here, like we are 60% of this country. A 60% of the country, if there is any problem, it will be in that bracket, or it must affect that bracket. Like even if you look at the sets, we have the young, the youth, and the age. Any of these sets, the upper one, that is the age and the young that are affected, it is the youths that suffer. Simply because it's the responsibility of the youths to take care of the young ones. It is also the responsibility of the youths to take care of the age. That any of them that are affected, it is the youths that are affected. If you look at our community level, the security, there is a problem in the grassroots level. We said we are the youths and we are the parents at our homes, but security is lacking at that end. If you look at our region, the rate at which rape cases are taking place is alarming. It's alarming, really. And these rape cases happens to young girls and youths, which might lead to their dropout from school. And when it happens, we don't see the authorities taking any step. And also, like when you go to our community level, in the community that is in the chief level, that is in the court members at the chieftaincy level. So finding youths there is always a problem. When you go to the kitidings, that is the members of the Kadi, you only find the age. You don't have the youths there. Like if there is any problem that happens, and it is the youths that are involved, and you know that like if I am involved in a if I am involved in a non-peaceful activity, it will be taken to the Kadi. And if I go to that Kadi, I will find my fellow youths there. I will feel ashamed to be looking after them. Then that will lead you not to be involved in such an activity. Then it is very important at the Kadi for the authorities to make sure that there are youths in the Kadi at the chieftaincy level. If that happens, that will maintain peace. And it will also help in the reconciliation. And also there is need for sensitization. There are most honorable members that are here. They are part of the regional youth councils, the regional youth committees. There is need for us to go back to our communities and make sensitization to our mothers for sending these young children in search of firewood in the forest, for sending them to walk from a village to a village. In the Combos here, it is not a problem. Like a person can be sent and walk for 3 kilometers. You will be passing people along the way. Vehicles and tricycles and motorbikes are moving up and down, no problem. But if you go to the up countries, it's a different story. In some communities, from one community to another community is more than 3 kilometers. And if you look at such distance, there are secondary posts that people can hide, where people can hide and cause nuisance in those communities. Then we, the youths, would go back to our parents, or even we are the parents, we should sensitize our fellow parents to take care of our children at the grassroots level, not to be sending them to be going in search of firewood and things like that. And also the other thing is, we encourage our students to be forming groups in such distance in our up countries. As we know that the students, when they are moving, they move from one village to another village in order to attend school. We encourage them, like when they are going, they go in groups. How are we going to do that is, we talk to the parents, like if children, before they go to school, they need to have breakfast or need to have lunch and wait for one another. Then we...
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. I don't know whether it is an oversight, but I raised my tag and my name is not being called.
Honorable member, sorry about that. I didn't have your name on the list. But can we have an agreement to take few names to do their submissions, but in 2 minutes instead of 5? Can we have that agreement? How many? Please raise your tags. 3. Honorable nominated member, you have spoken already.
Honorable Speaker, if it is possible, please, I would like to be given not more than 30 seconds to clarify a statement.
Honorable member, you might please resume your seat. So we have 3 honorable members who will be given 2 minutes to make their deliberations, and then we go to the move of the motion to close.
I think I have to complete before that.
Your time elapsed, honorable member. Honorable nominated member for persons living with disability.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Good. Honorable members has highlighted a lot of, important issues that is affecting our peace and development of the nation. But I believe, reconciliation, it's a process and that needs expertise, and as well, peace and stability, it's a progressive realization that also need productive, young-minded leaders that can able to take part in the process. But I believe there are 2 things or 2 important factors that needs to be looked into if you want to maintain peace, security in this country. That is respecting differences and acceptance of tolerance. It is said that in the Gambia, what is bringing all about conflict is people don't respect differences. We know political differences must be there. People who have different political ideologies. I mean, that's bringing about a lot of conflict within our communities. And young people start hating each other because, people that are perpetrators of conflict, you cannot use the same people to be peacemakers. Where shall we get peace? And also, there should be a religious, religious as well, respecting our religion differences. Okay, that is very, very important. It is important that the Gambia is not an Islamic state, neither a state for all the Christians, and we living together. So, in order for us to maintain peace, that sector of the society also should be looked at. How do we perceive our fellow brothers that are in Christianity, and how do we perceive our fellow brothers that are Muslims? This will bring about peace as well, because we know that scenarios has happened in the Gambia where, we have a little bit conflict between religious set of group in a particular community, and then brings about a lot of problems in social media. A lot of young people have, that call themselves as, peacemakers, speak ill about the other religion, and that never tell well. So I believe that is very, very fundamental. The other thing is we have to also respect our economic difference.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Can we now have Honorable Member for Fonyi Bondale?
Thank you. Kairo ning kando mu fenneti mi alonko nil lafta nga sama soto wala nil lafta nga sinyo ka nga kacha kairo le mabeta ni aja ala batula albela ala batula jama moto kairo le be sotori kuma dandan ne bambul fo ninkelu ngana korondo ngana ke moti mi alonko njuzol be tara kaniring wato wat ni be society kono itata dawda e kamera fo ninkel malong mune be kungo kono ikatara kamfaring wato wat yalo ninga nyo kafundi purunga kacha nyimbangola nyato tala asa anyanda ka kendole le ku kaira bat nga badi ya sabatindi nkalika nyo jibe nkalika nyo kala mutandi nkalika kacha kula miala ngo aben nafala bi aben nafala sama nga lonko o bankol miala ngo la bungol ka boy jana bomol ka fetenje ninga keta Gambia mimbe fola wote kala nyindi nga Gambia la soto nimma nyo kafundi government nyo kafundi ye fondingel kafundi nga kaja kula miala nga ben sambala no bi ay samba sama ay samba sinindi wala be kala ndol bela nyaato tati bari ni wo mamabe buduo ay ke woti alma alay kairo be sabadin dun moleja.
May I now call on the Honorable Member for Ilyasa?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have 1 minute submission and it is more of recommendation. Honorable members of this House and the stakeholders, let us look at our transport union. If we are talking about maintenance of security of our state. When I talk of transport union, I'm talking of the taxi drivers. Let us not allow our taxi drivers to be foreigners. Let us have Gambian taxi drivers. If we can reflect back our mind, the incidents that happened in our various communities, taxi drivers are not left behind. When we experience an incident today, in the evening, the number plate will be out. In taxi driver, you call Samba. So let the taxi drivers be Gambians, please. Taxi drivers are more involved in most of these incidents. Please, I'm urging all the parliamentarians in the House here and the stakeholders behind. Let us not allow our taxi drivers to be foreigners. Let us give license to Gambian drivers to be in our taxi system, please. This is what I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, for being precise.
Honorable Speaker, sorry, it seems as if Honorable Member has not finished her time. Can I please use this time to clarify what I want to say, Honorable Speaker, with your permission, please?
Honorable Member, go on.
Thank you very much,
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you. I'm rising on point of order, section 25, subsection 1. No member may speak more than once on any proposition except in committee stage, and we are not in committee.
Thank you very much for bringing that to my attention, Honorable Member for Fonyi Brefet. Honorable members, may I now call on the mover of the motion to respond to the concerns raised and wind up the debate. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And thank you very much to the honorable members for those brilliant submissions, even though most of the honorable members have deviated from the subject matter. Maybe it's because you don't understand what is said. It is said that the motion is the government to involve youth in reconciliation and peace building, and the maintenance of security of the state. And some of your submissions have indeed showed that the government should involve the youths in reconciliation, peace building, and maintenance of security in our state. The National Action Plan on Youth, Peace, and Security should be an inclusive process that encourages the National Youth Council to ensure an inclusive process to every young person to see themselves in the process. As a country, we have young people leading peace processes and have gained gained recognition within and outside the country. Their recognition should be amplified by supporting them to enhance peace and security in our communities. I am also calling on government and stakeholders to support the process, as one of the key pillars of the youth, peace, and security agenda is to solidify a smooth intergenerational relationship to the overall advancement of sustainable peace and development. As said by one of the honorable members, the role of young people in peace building cannot be overemphasized. And young people are also the key stakeholders of peace building in this country. Young people are more than 67% of the population of the Gambia. Therefore, their involvement in all aspects of peace building is crucial. Youth, peace, and security framework should be fully implemented. Then, therefore, our primary focus right now is to strengthen and recognize of youth peace builders, of young peace builders, and the role they are playing in promotion of peaceful and resilient communities. I am encouraging the government to fast-track the implementation of the National Action Plan on Women, Peace, and Security, and also ensure an inclusive process in the development of the first action plan on youth, peace, and security. So they gave you Gambia and Dawyata. How am I been in country there? But Gambia, lep luñ mëna def te boole wuñ suñ ndaw yi kon nañ xam ne loolu du musa dem kanam. Kon nag ñin waa NYP ñu ngi sàkku di ñaan nguur bi lépp lu mëna def na boole ndaw yi. And we the NYP members, as the honorable member for Bakau mentioned, are ready, and we are calling the government for partnership in order to build peace in this country. Thank you. Thank you, honorable member. I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this honorable assembly do adopt the resolution for the government to involve youth in reconciliation and peace-building processes and the maintenance of security of the state. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. On this note, may I now put the question, be it resolved that this August Parliament stand adjourned, signed, dying. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This assembly now stands adjourned until...
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
This assembly now
Honorable
stands
Speaker,
adjourned
point
until
of order.
August 2024.
Honorable Speaker,